guys, welcome back to the channel. It's another tool time. So today I'm going to service the front forks. I'm going to replace the oil, going to replace the dust seals, but also I'm going to install a new DebonAir air spring. This is a 180mm 2021 model. Apparently with the old DebonAir air spring there's about 10mm of sag that the front fork has, which means in the first 10mm of its travel there's no wheel compression. It only commences after that roughly 10mm. This 2021 model of the air spring is a bit longer and it presses the air spring in a higher position in the travel of the forks, which reduces that sag if you like, and it also means that the actual compression of the forks commences a little bit earlier. So that's what we're going to do, installing this air spring and a general service of the forks. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so what do we need? Obviously the air spring, the new dust wipers, it comes obviously as a set, and some fluid which I actually have from the Fox to soak these foam rings in before I insert them in the legs, and some suspension oil. When I remove the front wheel, I put a spacer between the brake pads to ensure that the calipers don't come and creeping closer, which could make it a bit challenging to get the front wheel back in. So at times that may happen, not always the case, but sometimes the calipers start slowly coming closer, and that makes it a bit challenging to get the rotor in the brake pads. So this is an easy way of preventing that. So the first thing I'm going to do is put some fluid on these foam rings so they are ready to go when I'm going to reinstall the forks. I'm using, as I mentioned before, the fluid from Fox just because I still had a tube, and I use pretty much all of it. I make sure that the fluid is covering the seal completely. And that's why I'm doing it right in the beginning, give it some time to actually soak in nicely. Okay, that is about it. When you order the service seals, make sure you have the right size. So I got the 35mm for the Lyriks. Obviously there are 32mm as well for different forks. And the Zep, for instance, they are 38mm, so again you need a different kit for that. Alright, so the first thing to do is to remove the air. So we're removing this air cap. Alright, done. Next we remove the rebound knob. There you go. Alright, next we're going to remove the foot nuts. This one. By the way, there's a top under it. You need to collect the oil that comes out of the legs once they separate. So now that the foot nuts are out, I want to separate the lower legs from the upper legs. And to do that, you actually have to put one of the bolts back in and use either a rubber mallet to give it a firm, like this. I could feel it went in a little bit. I have to do that here as well. Yes. Like that. Okay. I'm going to remove the brake calipers so that I can actually remove the lower legs of the forks. So with the brake calipers away, I should be able now to remove the lower legs of the forks. Okay, there we go. So next we're going to remove the ear cap with a cassette tool. Yeah, that should fit nicely. All right. Here it comes with all the spacers. So the next thing to do is to remove this C-clip. You can see it sitting here. You have to remove this one. Once that is out, you can pop out the old ear spring. So I removed the C-clip and now I can remove the old ear spring. It requires a bit of force. Oh, there we go. So just for comparison, you can tell that the new ear spring is a fair bit longer, about 20 mil, but this is the 180 mil, this is 170 mil. Before I put in a new ear spring, I'm going to clean the ear leg with this, little homemade device, PVC pipe. Just going to add it in until it comes out on the other side. Before I put the new one in, I'm going to grease it a bit. Pop the new ear spring in. Alright, that's in. Now we have to add this C-clip back in. I don't have the proper tool for it, but these pliers seem to work, so it does the job. Yeah. Next we're putting the ear cap back in. Alright. Oops. Alright, that should do it. So before I put back the lower legs of the front forks, I'm gonna remove these dust seals. I want to put new ones in. Yeah, so just using the tool to get them out. You just want to make sure you don't scratch the inners. It's not as straightforward. Okay, that one is coming out. That's one. You can also see here the foam seal, the old one. Yeah, I'm going to do the same on the other side. It's a bit delicate. Alright, here we go. And I also remove the foam ring. So I removed the old dust seals and foam rings. Next, I just clean it quickly. Before I put in the foam rings and the dust seals, I use a little bit of grease inside here. So next I'm going to put the soaked foam rings in. Like that. Nice. And now the new dust seals. I'm not using a tool for this. There are tools available, but generally you can do it just by hand. Press them in. Yeah. Just make sure you press evenly, left, right, and make sure this This is the old one. This ring sits nicely around it. Yeah. Oops, it's coming off now. Here it is. All right. Here it is, ready to go back on. It's a bit delicate though to get them nicely over the dot seals without damaging those. Okay, there's the left one. Okay. So next I put back the brake caliper. I took the bike out of the stand and turned it upside down so I can actually inject the oil. So we need only 10 ml of oil each leg. Alright, done. Next we're going to put back the foot nuts. Make sure you place them in the right leg. This is where the rebound adjuster sits. Finally putting back the rebound knob. And that should complete the process. Remove the spacer. So next I squeeze the brake lever and then I tighten these bolts from the caliper. So I hope then that the rotor is free in movement and does not touch the calipers. Yeah, that's about right. The last thing to do is obviously to inflate it again to the desired pressure, which for me is around 80 psi. All right, that's enough. All right, so we're done. It's looking good, feels all right. Obviously I put back the mud guard and that's it. Hey guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you got something out of it, and if you did, you may want to give it a thumbs up and you may want to subscribe. Alright guys, see you next time. Ciao.